Week 1 of the NFL just ended, and I'm going to cover everything that happened. The NFL season started off with a great matchup between the Chiefs and the Lions. Everyone really thought the Chiefs were going to win. They were moderate favorites. However, they had Travis Kelce and then Chris Jones out. So these are two of their three best players, and the Lions came to play. They stuck in it. The Chiefs learned that they don't actually have any wide receivers worth anything, especially with Tony being the worst wide receiver I've ever seen, and literally giving the game to the Lions. But the Lions did capitalize and were able to hold off the Chiefs to win. Then on NFL Sunday, we had several blowout games, and it's not exactly what you're hoping for, and you don't know is one team good or one team terrible, and it's probably a little bit of both. But the Bengals, the Steelers, and the Giants all lost by over 20 points. And this includes the Sunday night football game of the Giants losing 40-0 in quite possibly the worst blowout I've ever seen in the NFL. They lost by 40 points, and the Cowboys offense did almost nothing. Prescott only had 143 yards, and they weren't trying. But through special teams and turnovers, they just absolutely demolished the Giants. Then the other half of the previous year's Super Bowl, the Eagles played the Patriots, and it started off, looked like it was going to be a blowout. The Eagles quickly got up to 16-0 thanks to a pick six, and then their offense kind of died off. And the Eagles were only able to score one touchdown on offense. Of course, there was the defensive touchdown and a handful of field goals, and while the Patriots did come on strong and make it a really close game and drive down the field and almost win, the Eagles were able to hold on and win 25-20. And if you were looking for points, there was one high-scoring game that we all could have seen coming. It was the Dolphins and the Chargers. It was a very close game. The two offenses looked great. The two defenses looked terrible. But these are two of the most high-powered offenses in the NFL, with Tua looking good, looking improved, and Tyreek Hill having 11 catches for 215 yards and 2 touchdowns. And on the other side of the ball, Austin Eckler had over 100 yards and a touchdown, and Herbert looked really good. But at the end of the day, one team has to win, and the Dolphins were able to squeak it out to win 36-34. And then for the young quarterbacks, there was a bit of a mixed bag. Jordan Love in his first year as the Packers quarterback looked really good, and they were able to steamroll past the Bears. However, this is largely because their roster is just so much better. The Bears looked bad, and to make it worse, Justin Fields looked bad. He was making a lot of bad reads, and he threw some really unadvised passes that hurt the team. We did see this last year from Justin Fields, but we were kind of hoping for a Jalen Hurts type improvement, and we just haven't seen it so far. It is only 1 week, and the Packers defense is not bad, or who knows, maybe they're great. It's week 1. So it's about time to overreact, time to say Justin Fields is terrible, and time for them to draft a new quarterback. But really, we don't know. Maybe the Packers defense is great, or maybe he just was a little rusty and needs a few weeks to get going. He does still have a lot of promise because he's super athletic. But speaking of athletic, amongst the rookies, Anthony Richardson looked like the best rookie to me. He had some long runs and some good passes. Of course, he looked like a rookie some, and he was getting beat up the entire game. But he kept the Colts in it against the Jaguars, which are seen as Super Bowl contenders. And the Colts even had the lead going into the fourth quarter, but Trevor Lawrence was able to hold on and get the win. And then the two other rookies did not look as good. The Panthers, Bryce Young, struggled. He did get his first touchdown, and then the tight end threw the ball into the stands, which was unfortunate. But in his first game, he had under 150 yards, and he had 2 interceptions, and he looked like a rookie. There was a little bit of promise. He looked mobile, as rookies do, but he's not lighting the world on fire yet. However, it's not all his fault because the Panthers don't have any weapons at all. And very similarly, the Texans with CJ Stroud looked just as bad. CJ Stroud had about 250 yards though and no interceptions, so that's the bright side. The downside, no touchdowns, and the team ended up with only 9 points. So really all these young quarterbacks look shaky, except for Jordan Love, but he's been in the league for a long time. and I'm sure you've heard about it, but unfortunately Aaron Rodgers got injured and he tore his Achilles, and this could likely be the end of his career, but at the very least the end of this year, and kind of crushed the dreams of all the Jets fans, and is one of the most disappointing injuries I've ever seen. But somehow the Jets managed to stay in it with a strong defense and Josh Allen throwing turnovers and Garrett Wilson with an amazing touchdown catch as well, and they managed to make it to overtime, in which they had a movie ending with a punt return for a touchdown. So thanks for watching the video, like, subscribe, and check out some more of my videos.